Well, hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making fried pork chops. Listen, this is my husband's favorite thing on earth. Anytime I come home from work and I don't have a lot of time and I'm trying to figure out what to make for dinner, I know without a doubt that my husband will be a happy man if I fry him a pork chop. Listen, I don't think there's anything more delicious than a good fried pork chop. Now I've made some biscuits, waiting for my oven to preheat and stick those in. These pork chops are gonna cook in a flash. Now I've already added them to my Ziploc bag. Anytime I fry something, a Ziploc bag is my best friend. One thing you wanna make sure of when you're frying a pork chop is to get the thin chops. Save the thick chops for grilling or cooking in the oven. These little thin chops are what you use for frying, and they're absolutely perfect. Now I'm adding just a little bit of buttermilk. Unlike fried chicken, you don't need a lot of buttermilk. You just want enough to cover your chops. And I'm gonna start with about 2 tablespoons. And that goes right in because we don't want a thick crust on these chops. You just want a light, crispy crust and just enough buttermilk to make the flour stick. So what I'm gonna do, there we go. This looks perfect. Now I'm gonna let those chops sit for just a minute while I mix my flour and seasoning up. Now, another important thing when you're frying chicken or chops is to use self-rising flour. Super important. And there's not a recipe for these fried chops. The ingredients will be in the comments, but you'll have to watch me for the technique because there's just no way to write that out. I have about a cup of flour, and add as much flour as you need according to the amount of chops that you're gonna fry. And about out of seasoned salt. I'm adding some seasoned salt, just enough to taste. I would say that's probably a good teaspoon. And I love this stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and get some more. Get that at the Piggly Wiggly. It's the only place I can find it, but it's so good. I'm gonna shake this up. And that's pretty much it. If you want to add more seasoning, go to it, but we keep it simple around here, and that is all right with me. Now, see these chops? They're nicely coated with the buttermilk, but they're not dripping wet. That is exactly what I want to see. And I'm just going to shake it up. Shake and repeat. That is just right. Now, I'm going to let these sit for just a minute and allow that buttermilk to soak up as much of that flour as it can. And I'm gonna throw this away, wash my hands, and we're gonna get over there to that frying pan. All right, my biscuits are in the oven, and now it's time to fry these chops. I've got some peanut oil. In my opinion, peanut oil is the best frying oil on earth. And I'm just adding enough to cover the bottom of my skillet and just a little bit more. And I'll tell you an old trick. I've got some old oil. When I fry, I salvage what I can out of my oil and I save it. And I use this in my new oil. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons. Now what that does is add a beautiful color. It's an old restaurant trick, and That way you get that beautiful golden brown color without overcooking your stuff. Now I'm turning my heat on medium high. Let's see, it goes up to 9. I've got it on 7. And I want that oil to get really hot. If you're one that likes to know the temperature that the oil needs to be, heat it up to about 350 degrees. Now, it's going to take just a minute or two for this oil to get good and hot. So I'm going to shake these. And I'm going to keep doing that all along. And I've also got a pan here, and I've got it lined with a paper towel, and then I just have a little rack on top. I don't like putting anything fried directly on a paper towel. I like for any extra oil to drip off and not go back into your fried food. That's just not delicious to me. This is going to take a minute or two to heat up, and we're almost done. I believe my oil is hot and my biscuits are done. I might have should have waited to put those in, but I can just kind of tell when I put my hand over the oil that it's the heat that I want it to be. I'm going to give these one last shake. And look at this. See how that buttermilk has soaked up that flour? Oh, these are going to be so good. Oh, yeah. That is just right. I'm going to let these cook about 3, maybe 4 minutes, and we'll flip them over. Look at these. I've got my pan a little crowded, but that's okay. All right, I think these are done. Listen, they take literally 5-6 minutes tops. That's how quick they fry up. You see why a lot of times I make this when I can't think of something else. It's just fast and easy. Just look at it. That was perfect. Just letting some of that oil drain off. And that's going right on my rack. My goodness. A lot of times, my husband will pack up one of these pork chops and a biscuit and take it for lunch when he's not going to have time to come home. They pack up beautifully. That looked perfect. Let's get on back over to the other side and see how these turned out. Well, my husband is out in the garage doing some honeydews. He's planting some plants for me, and he's about to come in, and I know that he's gonna say, honey, you did good. Look at these. Oh, they're hot, 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 hot. Oh, look, perfectly fried. Just wanna take a little bite. Y'all, I can't wait to get into the rest of this chop. We pick it up just like you would a piece of chicken. and eat it just like that. With these biscuits, I have some fig and some pear preserves, and I'll pull those out. But tell me, this does not look delicious. So good. It reminds me of that movie, Sweet Home Alabama, when the lady said to the mom, "Oh, go fry something." Gladly, madame. Listen, y'all have got to try these. Easy. Dinner is done in 15 minutes, and it's absolutely delicious. Listen, you're a blessing to me. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Press that like button, share it with your friends. The more, the merrier. And before my husband comes in, one more bite. See you next time. That's good.